I've got a busy day planned in my kitchen. I'm going to be pressure canning chili, but I'm going to make it in bulk using a Wendy's chili copycat recipe. I'm going to be using my big roaster to mix the chili in. I love this thing. It's perfect for great big turkeys or for when you're making a big batch of something. So I've got kidney beans, pinto beans, chili powder, diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, onions, bell pepper, and a jalapeno pepper, black pepper, salt, and cumin. I found this recipe online and I'm going to link it below, but it is very close to Wendy's chili that they used to make years ago, and we love it. We love Wendy's chili. When my husband and I first got married, it was like 99 cents, and that was what we ate all the time, was Wendy's chili. So we're going to get all this ingredients going. I've got 8 pounds of hamburger that I took out of the freezer, and I'm just going to brown that up and drain off as much of the grease as possible. This is 80% lean. That's what I like. It's the brand from Costco, and it's a really good hamburger. This was $3.99 a pound. So I'm just going to brown it up and then drain off all that fat and put it in the roaster. Next, I've got my bell peppers, and because I quadrupled this recipe, I've got 4 bell peppers that I'm just dicing up. You could certainly make this in smaller batches. I'm doing it in a big batch because I want to get 2 canners full to can. So there's my jalapeno pepper that I grow in the backyard, and I'm a wimp. I've got to take those seeds out. My husband and I cannot tolerate really hot food, but it does give it a nice taste when you take out the seeds in those membrane. So I'm going to take that out, and after testing the chili, I did go back and add 1 more hot pepper to it. You know, my dad stays here with us now, and he loves hot stuff, so I kind of did it in the middle of the road. But I'm going to go rinse out those seeds. I do not want that in my chili. So here's the roasting pan, and I've got all of the browned hamburger in, and now I'm just going to start dumping. And that's what's so great about this recipe. I'm using up, rotating out some stock in the pantry, so I'm using up the diced tomatoes and just pouring it all in there. So for this recipe, I used 4 cans of diced tomatoes and 4 28-ounce cans of tomato sauce. And that's all I'm doing, is just dumping. Now I'm going to be using 4 cans of kidney beans, and those are the dark red ones, and 4 cans of pinto beans. And you do leave the liquid in there, so you don't have to drain the beans. Just pour everything into this big pot. And this was very delicious. I've never made chili like this, but I do love Wendy's chili. So it does taste very, very much like Wendy's chili. In fact, probably better. The chili that they serve now, to me, is not as good. It just seems to be real watery. Now, I did go in and add a can of tomato paste. That was not in the recipe, but I just went ahead and added that. I like the thickness that it gives chili. Then I'm going to be adding in all of those chopped onions. Let's see, how many onions did I end up doing? 2 onions, and then 4 bell peppers, and then 2 jalapeno peppers. And all that went into the pot as well. Then I'm going to give this a good stir. And so the recipe did call for celery, and I went back and added that later. I sent the hubby up to the store to get some celery. So I added in 4 stalks of finely chopped celery. Isn't that pretty? I just love the bell pepper and the onion in that. Alright, now I'm going to add in 4 cups of water and all of the spices, which was 4 tablespoons of cumin, 4 teaspoons of black pepper, 8 teaspoons of salt, and then I did use a 1/2 cup of chili powder. Do not use the chili seasoning packets. because we're going to pressure can this, you should only use the chili powder. So there it is. I'm going to cut this on and bring it to a boil and then just let it boil and cook for 20 minutes. And this is how it looks after 20 minutes. It is so delicious and it smelled wonderful. My dad kept stepping out. Is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? So then I've got my hot jars ready to be ladled with the chili. And I'm just putting it right in the quart jars. I did 7 quarts and then 7 half pints. Okay, I left a 1-inch headspace at the top, and that is very important to make sure you leave adequate headspace. And I debubbled using my spatula. Then I'm going to take a cloth dipped in white vinegar, and the reason you do this is because it helps remove any fat or meat pieces from the lid so you get a really good seal. So always use white vinegar whenever you're canning anything with meat in it. Then of course I've got my lids sitting in hot water. I'm going to put the ring on fingertip tight and then go ahead and put that in the pressure canner. So I got 7 quarts in one pressure canner. And I processed these at 11 pounds of pressure for 90 minutes. Now the half pints I did for 75 minutes at 11 pounds of pressure. So there they go. They're all getting put into the canner, ready to go. I don't ever leave my canners when they're running. I stay right with them because you may have to adjust the temperature. You don't want it to get below your pressure that you need, and you don't want it to get too high, so you have to pretty much stay with it. And I always check my vent to make sure it's not clogged, and make sure my rubber ring is on right. And those are just parts of the process of pressure canning. There's the other pressure canner. I've got it on 11 pounds of pressure for 75 minutes. That was the half pints. Alright, after they've completed and the pressure is down, I usually let them sit in the canner for a good 10 to 15 more minutes. Crack the lid and get that steam off for another 5 minutes. And these turned out great. Every one of them sealed. I didn't have any issues with them. None broke, so I was very thankful. So I have got 14 jars of chili. Now the 7-quart jars will be for meals, and the half pint jars I'm going to be using to pour over nachos or baked potatoes if we have chili potatoes. So I'll be able to use the smaller portions for those kind of meals. And then a quick cleanup and we're all done. So in the description box below, I will leave a link where you can find this Wendy's chili copycat recipe. And like I said, I did it ×4 so that I could get a good amount made today. And it's from the website Dinner Then Dessert, and it's a great recipe. I highly recommend it because it sure did taste like the Wendy's chili. So these are going in the pantry to have this winter for a good hearty meal, whether we have a bowl of chili with some cornbread, or we take the half pints and pour it over nacho chips or over baked potatoes. So if you have any questions about this chili or this recipe or how to process meals like this in jars, just leave that in the comments below. I'll also link my canning projects Pinterest board. If you are interested in following me along on Pinterest, I'll leave that link below. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. This was an all-day process, friends. I worked all day long on this one. Don't forget to like, and if you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. You can be part of our community. I've got some great friends here. I'd love to have you join. Thanks and have a blessed day.